So I've been playing Final Fantasy Tactics up until chapter 2, and I just finished chapter 2 recently. And then I realized something. Is Final Fantasy Tactics anti-Catholic and Gnostic? Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Dorian Andrews, aka Dory Dorell, with the Dory Dorell Music Channel, formerly known as Dorio TV. And I just want to encourage everyone to please like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest news and reviews coming to this channel. So please don't forget to click that notification bell. Also, why not share it? Go ahead and click that share button and share it with all your friends and family. This is real, this is authentic, unfiltered discussion. Just a heads up, if you hear stuff in the back, that's my washing machine. I gotta get my clothes done while I'm doing this before I go to work, so bear with me. So I was talking to my brother, like maybe yesterday or a couple days ago. We were talking about just the hidden themes in Final Fantasy Tactics because it's very religious based, especially in the Christian faith. But my brother had a really good point. This is what he messaged me. He said, the church in Final Fantasy Tactics resembles the Catholic Church. The stones represent the worship of relics in the Catholic tradition and the use of them to create control over leaders or kings of nations. Ultimately, the story is a representation of views of those who believe the church is evil and uses the power for control rather than good. There is a scene in the game where a stone is used to heal someone, showing that the stone had power but wasn't evil in itself, depending on the one who used it. So I mentioned this in my last video where when Malik was shot and he was killed, when his sister cried out for him, Rafa, she cried out for him, and the stone reacted to her pure heart and revived him. So it was interesting how the stones were used in a good way, but most of the game, whoever used it who was evil had a Lucavi or demon possess them. I wanted to check, is this game anti-Catholic? Because there's a lot of relics in here, a lot of talk about Zodiac Stones and the Zodiac signs. They don't outright talk about what the signs mean pertaining to the stones, but they do say that these stones represented each Zodiac brave warrior who defeated Ultima, who was like the leader of the Lucavi, aka the leader of the demons who were trying to take over the world of Ivalice during that time. I know it's a mouthful, I'm sorry. Let's take a look at real Catholic relics. So if you look on Google, I just type in Catholic relics. It says Catholic relics are sacred physical objects associated with Christ, saints, or blesseds, categorized into first class, which is body parts, second class, items a saint used, and third class. Relics are venerated, not worshipped, as a way to honor the holy person and seek their intercession, with miracles and healings understood as coming from God alone. Every Catholic church's altar must contain a first-class relic in its base as a symbolic link to the church's origins and the martyrs of the faith. Basically, they say that even if healing and miracles happen through these relics, they still believe that it comes from God. But in Final Fantasy Tactics, when you have this power surging from them, they believe that it comes from just the stone itself. They don't believe it comes from God because they don't believe in a God. How do I know this? When you fight the first Lucavi in chapter 2, it's at the very end, and you're fighting with this Lucavi, he basically says that the whole church was a lie. They created this religion just to entice people and to get people to worship them and to seize power, get the people's support and take away the support of the throne, of the royals. This is crazy because this is kind of what happens now, honestly, in the modern day. There goes my washing machine. Now let's take a look at some of the relics. So some relics can include the Veil of Veronica, which is used to wipe sweat and blood from Jesus while he was dying on the cross. You have the crown of thorns that Jesus wore when he was being crucified, which were ingrained into his skull while he was walking, which is just horrific. The holy foreskin.
What did you say?
Saint Anthony of Padua, a patron saint of lost things. Foreskin, that's disgusting. What the heck? Another one is the Shroud of Turin, which is a linen sheet, bears a striking ghostly image, and it is directly correlated to the burial of Jesus Christ. But they have a skull of John the Baptist as a relic. St. Paul's chains. So the Paul that was in the Bible who was persecuting Christians, and he converted to being a believer in Jesus and started preaching, they actually have his chains. That is considered a relic. These are just a few examples of certain relics that are in the Catholic faith. But you see how Catholics view these relics as such sacred pieces. It's the same thing in Final Fantasy Tactics, where you have these sacred stones. You have these sacred, ooh, that sound like Fire Emblem. Ooh, if you know, you know. Views these Zodiac Stones and all these other relics as very precious, and they hold power. But once they actually believe in this power and tap into the power, they realize that they are awakening demons, which are the Lucavi. It took 12 warriors, known as the Zodiac Braves, to defeat the Lucavi, who were rampaging around the whole continent, thanks to a dead King Muland who summoned them in the first place to seize power for himself. So when you go into that battle, the Lucavi is basically saying there is no God. He doesn't believe in God. They don't even believe in God. They just use it as a front to seize power over the throne. And Ramza says, you know, this is heresy. Like, this is a lie. You're lying to the people, an unforgivable sin, and you've awakened demons. You are becoming a demon. You are not a god. You look terrible. Like, did you look in the mirror?
One, don't you feel dumb? Two, look at you.
It was interesting how Ramza could see that. That's why I think, low-key, this is a Christian game, because Ramza's like, you're a demon. And he's mentioned God in the game a couple of times. So, just my opinion. I'm biased because this is my favorite Final Fantasy game. It could be, honestly. I mean, if you play it long enough, you can see a lot of the Gnostic and anti-Catholic points in there. Now, I'm not Catholic, but I can see that this could offend some Catholic people. So if you're Catholic, if you're devout, I don't think you would like to play this game. If you're Christian, I still think it's a great game because you could see some Christian influence in there. And if you're Gnostic, then
stop it. Get some help.
Just be careful with certain games that you play, because there are certain themes in there that will make you feel uncomfortable. But with that being said, this game is a 10 out of 10. I love this game. If you like what I had to say, please like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest coming to this channel. This is your boy, Dory Darrell, signing out. Deuce, deuce.